Special thanks to Rock Island Auctions for their kind permission to use their images in this video. It appears that Reichsfuhrer SS Heinrich Himmler was fairly generous when giving out firearms as presents and also as special presentation pieces. Himmler wanted to reward both Waffen-SS and Army snipers, for example, for their services to the war effort, and a sliding scale of tangible prizes was instituted by the Reichsfuhrer during the war. This morale-boosting prize-giving appears to date from the latter part of World War II, as documentary evidence and the serial numbers of presentation pistols all point to this being the case. So what did high-scoring snipers receive outside of the usual meritorious or gallantry awards available? Himmler decreed that all Waffen-SS and Army snipers who achieved 50 kills be presented with an engraved wristwatch from himself, plus a period of home leave. For snipers that hit the 100 kills mark, the Reichsfuhrer awarded an engraved pistol, and possibly also it was intended that the sniper would also receive a pair of engraved binoculars. Now a word from our sponsor. Join the battle as we commemorate the heroes of D-Day in World of Warships with a special 80th anniversary event. Engage in epic naval warfare as you relive history's most pivotal moment on the seas. Command new legendary vessels, strategize with your fleet in new missions, and dominate the waves in thrilling battles inspired by the events of June 6, 1944. Participate in exclusive in-game events, unlock commemorative rewards, and pay homage to those who changed the course of history. Players can unlock new ships who will be debuted into the game, special D-Day PvE and PvP missions for new and existing players, new commemorative historical commanders, special patches, skins and customizations. Register into the game through the link in the description and use the invite code D-Day80th. You will receive 200 doubloons, 7 days premium time, 1 million credits, a choice of ships after 15 battles, 3 special D-Day missions after 9 battles, only available for a limited time. World of Warships. Play it now. It is thought that around 50 presentation pistols were manufactured as prizes, all of them Sauer 38H models, and all surviving examples contain late-war high serial numbers. In addition, a letter from Himmler to the Voigtländer Binoculars Company dated the 11th of January 1945 survives, where he asked for 100 pairs of specially engraved binoculars to be manufactured to be awarded as gifts to snipers, but it is unclear whether the order was ever fulfilled before the war's end. Himmler also had specially engraved pistols made as presentation pieces to important SS and party officials or as birthday gifts, and needless to say, the sniper and gift pistols all command very high values today, due to both their scarcity and their personal connection to Himmler. So how did so many of Himmler's presentation and gift pistols end up in the United States? They were mostly veteran bringbacks. Weapons that GIs were able to bring back as souvenirs, often on official application through their unit. As veterans pass on, a number of these fascinating pistols have been auctioned off to collectors. I've selected 10 Himmler presentation pistols to look at today, and I've arranged them from the cheapest to the most expensive, based on the prices achieved at auction. We begin with this engraved, gold-plated Walther PPK, auctioned at Rock Island in May 2014. It is covered in a floral vine engraving with a matte background. The left side of the slide is also a relief engraved H. Himmler. All markings except the serial number have been ground off from the pistol, including its proof marks. It has brown plastic Walther banner checkered grips, but is missing its magazine and the lanyard loop on the heel. There is no information as to why Himmler presented this weapon in his name, though it was probably a gift to a significant individual. This PPK realized a sale price of $5,175. At position number 9 is another Walther PPK presented by Himmler, as this time as a competition shooting award. The upper left of the slide has a deep relief engraved inside a double banner with the words Der Reichsführer SS, dem besten Schützen der SS, meaning it was presented to the best shot of the SS from the Reichsführer, with H. Himmler engraved behind the inscription. The left side of the slide has the standard Walther two-line markings with MOD PPK behind that. On the right side of the chamber and slide is the German Eagle N Waffenamt proof mark, with the serial number with K suffix on the right side of the frame. Set into the left side of the standard brown checkered plastic wrap around grips is a very large silver double oak leaf acorn device. Rock Island believed that this pistol was once entirely gold-plated. At auction in December 2010, this PPK realized $17,250. At position number 8 is the first of the Walther PPs to appear on our list, the PP standing for Polizeipistole, the big brother of the PPK, or Polizeipistole Klein, or small police pistol. Fully engraved in a deep chisel relief of a traditional oak leaf and acorn pattern covering 98% of the pistol's surface, it is engraved on the upper left side of the slide Dem Tapferen vom Reichsführer SS H. Himmler 1944, translating basically as To the Brave from the Reichsführer SS Heinrich Himmler. It has standard Walther two-line factory markings and is fitted with standard black plastic grips. The right side of the frame, slide, and barrel all have the Eagle N Waffenamt proof marks. In May 2024, this PP realized $17,250. At number 7 is a mysterious pistol, having perhaps a relationship not with Himmler directly, but with one of his brothers. So we come to another Walther PP, this time factory engraved and gold-plated. It has factory ivory grips inlaid with a monogram GH. Research shows two likely candidates for this particular Walther PP were SS Hauptsturmführer or Captain Gottlieb Heering, an SS war criminal involved in both the T4 euthanasia program at Castle Hartenstein and also at Belzec and Poniatowa concentration camps. The other candidate is Himmler's elder brother, Gebhard, who during World War II held the rank of SS Standartenführer or Colonel and had a high position in the Reich's Ministry of Science, Education and Culture. Some have suggested Gebhard Himmler as the most likely candidate as the owner of this very fine presentation piece. It is 99% engraved in a traditional Germanic oak leaf and acorn pattern and was then gold washed over the entire surface. The right grip panel also has a very fine gold washed Nazi eagle just over 1 inch wide. As the eagle looks over its left shoulder, this is a Parteiadler, party eagle, and would be appropriate regarding Gebhard Himmler as he worked in a high Nazi party political position. The war criminal Heering died in a hospital in Germany under mysterious circumstances on the 9th of October 1945 before he could stand trial. Gebhard Himmler was captured by the British Army near Kappeln in Schleswig-Holstein in May 1945 and released from captivity in 1948. Post-war, he worked in education. He died in 1982 in Munich at the age of 83. At the September 2017 auction, this intriguing Walther PP realized $28,750. At number 6 is the first of the extremely rare Heinrich Himmler sniper pistols, of which only 5 have been known in the United States, this example listed in the reference books. How this ended up coming to auction is very interesting. The consignor obtained the pistol from his grandfather, who was in the 1950s to 60s a chief of police in an Illinois city, and he in fact confiscated it from a drifter. The pistol, a Sauer 38H, is finished in high polish blue and has an inscription reading Dem Scharfschützen, standing for sharpshooting, with a facsimile signature H. Himmler. This example is not in quite as good condition as another Sniper Award pistol that I will show you shortly, though at auction in May 2017 it realized $34,500. At number 5 is this interesting weapon, another very heavily engraved Walther PPK that has also appeared in published works on the subject. This PPK is one of only 2 purposefully manufactured by Walther on Himmler's order in 1944 for presentation to someone, as the insignia tells us, Dem Tapferen, or To the Brave, followed by From the Reichsführer SS Heinrich Himmler 1944. This gun was never actually presented to anyone, and was found in parts at the Walther factory when it was captured by US troops, alongside the other pistol, and both of them were later put together, still in the white, in the original unfinished factory condition by US armourers. The other example has never been auctioned. This PPK was sold in April 2013, realizing $46,000. At position number 4 is a pistol I just had to include. This Walther PP is believed to have belonged to Himmler's SS liaison man at Führer headquarters, Hermann Fegelein. He famously married in 1944 Eva Braun's sister, Gretel. Firstly, the pistol itself is a 1933 factory model, mostly finished in nickel. It is fully covered in exhibition presentation semi-relief Walther factory engraving with dense punch-backed oak leaf motifs, and on the back strap, set into its deeply engraved oval panel, is the monogram HF. The pistol was acquired by a US Army colonel who likely brought it home at war's end as a trophy. Fegelein, a cavalryman, earned a slew of gallantry decorations in the Polish and Russian campaigns until badly wounded in action in 1943 and reassigned as a staff officer as Himmler's man at Hitler's headquarters. Himmler liked him immensely, showing much preferential treatment towards him, though he was not particularly popular among Hitler's inner circle. He was considered an arrogant man of dubious morality and probably over-promoted. He showed his true colours on the 27th of April 1945 when he deserted his post at the Führer bunker as the Soviets closed in and was apprehended drunk at his apartment with a suitcase full of civilian clothes and false documentation. He was brought back to the bunker under official disgrace, and following the revelation of Himmler's secret entreaties to the Western Allies to end the war without Hitler's permission, Hitler ordered Fegelein to be shot just 2 days before his own death. The pistol may have fallen into US hands via Fegelein's brother Waldemar, who was at war's end commanding Fegelein's old division, the 8th SS Cavalry Division Florian Geyer, headquartered at Fischhorn Castle. And some of Eva Braun's property had been sent from Berlin to Fischhorn before the end of the war, that much is known, along with some of Hitler's personal property as well, and it's not unthinkable that Hermann Fegelein also sent on much of his possessions for safekeeping with his own brother. It was at Fischhorn Castle that Hermann Göring was brought at the war's end to complete his surrender to US forces. And following the end of the war, the castle was thoroughly searched after Waldemar Fegelein and the other 60 or so SS headquarters personnel had been taken prisoner. And Hermann Fegelein's Walther PP may have been among the effects taken as trophies by US soldiers. This is, of course, conjecture on my part. The PP was auctioned in May 2023, having come from the son of the colonel who had brought it back from Europe at war's end, and it realized $76,375. At number 3 is a better condition example of one of the only 5 known pistols given as prizes to SS and Army snipers by Himmler. This Sauer 38H 7.65mm pistol is extremely rare. It's a late production example which fits in with what we know about these special sniper prizes, and this particular pistol has appeared in books on the subject of Sauer firearms. This is the lowest known serial number sniper presented 38H, and has a high polished blue finish with a presentation inscription on the left side of the slide reading Dem Scharfschützen, or for sharpshooting or sniping, with a facsimile signature H. Himmler. It has checkered black plastic grips with the encircled Sauer monogram on the left grip. It has the serial number 475396 on the left side of the frame, and the Eagle N Waffenamt proof marks on the rear right of the frame, the slide, and the edge of the barrel. It has a dull-blued magazine. This 38H was auctioned in September 2016, realizing $80,500. At number 2, we jump into the realms of the very wealthy collectors indeed. This extraordinary firearm was a presentation piece from Himmler to one of the Waffen-SS's key leaders, Obergruppenführer Karl Wolff. Wolff was very close to Himmler, serving as chief of the Reichsführer's personal staff, effectively his right-hand man. He ended the war at the opposite side of Europe from Himmler, who was in northern Germany, Wolff helping to negotiate the surrender of German forces in northern Italy, known as Operation Sunrise.
At Allied Mediterranean headquarters in Italy, the Germans unconditionally give up all of Italy and southern Austria. In civilian clothes, representatives of the German armies signed the surrender document. General W.D. Morgan, representing Supreme Mediterranean Commander Alexander, signs for the Allies. Preceding the final capitulation at Reims, this surrender eliminated 1 million German troops.
Because of his cooperation with the Western Allies in bringing about the German surrender in Italy, he escaped prosecution at Nuremberg for war crimes. However, in 1962, he was prosecuted in West Germany regarding the deportation of Polish Jews, receiving a 15-year prison sentence, but was released in 1971 owing to ill health. Ill health that was apparently serious enough that he was able to live a further 13 years in freedom until his death in 1984 at the age of 84. This Walther PP is a masterpiece of engraving, 98% of its surface covered in a German oak leaf and acorn style pattern. The upper left grip has a small black enameled SS runes insignia, and the lower area a gold-washed, inlaid rectangular plate with a facsimile signature, H. Himmler. The right grip carries a small gold-washed Nazi eagle. 75% of the original factory gold-wash finish remains on the pistol. When Wolff surrendered at Bolzano in Italy in 1945, the US 88th Infantry Division sent in its reconnaissance unit to raid the headquarters and round up the staff and also any weapons present. Reconnaissance Staff Sergeant John Riley found this pistol in its holster underneath a pillow in one of the bedrooms and kept it, passing it down through his family. At the auction of September 2015, Karl Wolff's personal handgun realized $287,500. And so to the number 1 Himmler pistol sold by Rock Island Auctions. This is not a presentation piece, but most probably Himmler's personal weapon. This Walther PP was brought to the US at war's end by a private first class and the US 813th Tank Destroyer Battalion. Private John McGeorge said he won it in a poker game, his unit in the immediate post-war period being based at Bad Reichenhall, which is just over 20 miles away from Berchtesgaden, which contained the homes of many of the leading Nazis, not the least of which Hitler and Hermann Göring up the hill in Obersalzberg, and also Reichsführer SS Heinrich Himmler, who had a large house on the outskirts of Berchtesgaden. This house was captured by US troops and thoroughly looted of its possessions, and we could probably make the case that this gun came out of the house in Berchtesgaden and was later traded by GIs, and of course eventually won in the poker game. Of course this is just guesswork on my part, and we'll probably never know. The pistol is like many of the others, being covered in fine engraving, and its features and markings show it to be an early model PP, finished in chrome, making it very hard wearing, perhaps meaning that this pistol was carried daily rather than as a nice presentation piece that was only taken out at special occasions. I made a video in the past about the Nazi leaders' everyday carry pistols, and we can note from the style of holster that Himmler wore when he was armed that he was most probably carrying a Walther PP, or possibly a Mauser HSC, or even a Sauer 38, but I'm guessing that the PP was most likely. so it may very well have been this pistol. Some of the engraving is very interesting, playing into Himmler's interest in paganism. On the left upper side of the slide are a pair of sunwheel Sonnenwende emblems and a pair of Siegrunes on the right standing for the SS. On the back strap, set into its deeply textured panel, is the monogram HH. Coupled with the symbols and the engraving and the monogram, and where it was most probably captured, most people assumed that this pistol in fact belonged to Heinrich Himmler. Due to this association, this Walther PP was auctioned in May 2019, realizing a very high sum indeed, $356,500. Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also visit my audiobook channel, War Stories with Mark Felton. You can also help to support both of my channels at PayPal and Patreon. Details in the description box below.